What's going on, everybody? It's Lester from Cannabis Wiki. I am here with the North American Cannabis Flower Award-winning cannabis social influencer, your queen, Jackie Childs.
Hey, guys. Welcome to the Green Room. Hello, Lester.
What's going on, homie?
I'm really excited about our next guest.
Me too.
Some much-needed church.
You don't know everybody could use a little bit of church in their life.
Just a wee bit. This kind I like.
Right?
Oh.
With all this high shit going on.
This is probably hugely frowned upon during COVID times, but I just got his head in my water.
Is he? You guys sharing?
Yeah, we're sharing.
They call that puppy love, I guess.
Right? Hey, want to introduce our guest, or should I?
Yeah, take it away. Why not? I like when you introduce.
So our guest today is Kelly from Kelly's Green Lounge, which is in Orono, small town, about an hour from Toronto, outside our. She'll tell who she is and where she is. She's also Reverend Kelly.
Church.
So.
Right? Lady, what's going on?
Oh, hello, my friend. It's so nice to see you today. I'm very happy to be here. It's such an honor. Really, really it is.
Well, we're glad you took the time to be with us, too.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us about Kelly's Green Lounge.
Well, we started virtually, and it was sort of just me making. Well, I worked sort of in the industry a little bit, getting to know it, took some courses, started a virtual thing, and then it got so big, we decided that we would need to make it an in real life sort of brick and mortar, and that's what we did. So I live in a place called Orono. It's little. And it's about an hour east of Toronto. And it's a little lounge where you can come and do things like educational stuff and recreational stuff and learn and do workshops. And then it just kind of went from there. Since we've had the apocalypse happening in the last few months, we've been doing a lot of virtual stuff, but we're starting to recognize that we can come back and do more stuff in lounge now. So we're everywhere.
It's awesome.
Gotta like it. I love the vibe.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
So Kelly, how'd you become a reverend, Kelly? Tell us how that came about. Why?
Oh,
how?
My goodness.
What do you offer?
We're about to go.
Okay, so I have to explain, like, you know how you go to like festivals and concerts and you hang out with rock stars? That's sort of the life I lived for very many years. I worked in the music industry. I went on tour to Coachella. Like, I was that person as well. And so if you had told 20-year-old Kelly that Kelly would be a reverend or a minister, I would have been like, are you crazy? Right? What? But the really cool thing is that I just actually feel like this is my path now. I've started to recognize, like, I didn't know where I was going to fit with this, because, I mean, Kelly's Green Lounge has massive amount of things that we're doing. We're about to pilot a course. We have a comedy and cannabis brand that we're starting up. We have workshops and classes, and the virtual, we're doing a virtual TV show. We've got talk shows. There's so many things. And so if you had told me, like, hey, now it's spiritual, no, but it made me draw to it. I felt like the way that I found cannabis was through the spiritual parts of it. And by that, I felt like I really needed to get my message out with the cannabis and spirituality. In addition to that, I have this wonderful community of people that a lot of them are lost lambs, and they come to our lounge by themselves, and they may not have had a place to go before. So it was almost like this community or this congregation sort of built itself. And then I started to study the metaphysical spirituality, and I found a metaphysical church that I really related to, and I did a course, and I prayed, and now I have a cannabis church.
That is
so what session on
crazy.
Your Sunday sessions or whatever, what is that?
Session in church. So I do session in church Sunday nights at 7:00, and I meet virtually with humans that have some sort of like spiritual context to cannabis. I met with Julia from Elevated Culture Toronto a couple of weeks ago. This Sunday I meet with Anne-Marie Fisher from Canarite, and we just sit there and smoke weed and talk about how cannabis spirituality affects us. A lot of the feelings that I have to do with my church and it's called the Cannabis Church of KGL, by the way, and I am Reverend Kelly. So a lot of it to do with it is the Rastafarian belief. And the Rastafarians believe that cannabis is our natural state. When we consume it, we can hear things better, music, we can taste better, we make love better, we hear better, everything is so much better. They believe that everything else is a facade. So, and I fully believe that too. And that's why they're always consuming cannabis in different forms, because they believe they need to stay in their natural state. So part of what our church message is that cannabis really brings us to who we're supposed to be.
Now that religion, Rastafari, that's a hard to follow here. How is that being accepted through your church?
How is that being accepted in Orono?
Yes. Well, I mean, there are elements. There's other elements. I mean, we are a metaphysical church. So there are those elements of the church too. It's really, when I was looking for my spiritual journey, and what really led me to cannabis was Bob Marley. There's a documentary out. One of the things that led me. There was a documentary out called Marley that I watched a few years ago. And then after that, I was just like, give me everything. And I read Rita's book, and I read anything that I could about Rastafarianism. Now, I don't follow that. I just really believe in their beliefs. So it is messages. Like I still do the things that they don't. Like they're very natural, and they're very eat the land, or eat the food off the land, and everything is natural.
Right.
And I'm way too vain and materialistic to be like that. I'll be honest with you, but I like the elements of the cannabis part. Yeah.
She's honest.
Hey, that is the best part. That is the best part of it.
Yeah, she likes to. Every time I see her, I'm going to be somewhere. She gives me something sparkly and frilly and fancy, and
I know. That I wore when you first met me. This is my Jackie dress. When you came to see me speak in Muskoka, I wore this dress, and I was like, what will I wear today? And then I thought, my Jackie dress.
She's so funny. She's so funny.
You are full of energy, lady.
She does a ton of things. Like they also have if people are in conflict, as far as like an AA, they have sort of they do support groups and stuff from the lounge, and tons of educational things. If you're first time growers, seniors go there with their bud and say, okay, now like we want this to be oil. It's like, and she helps them out and does everything. Yeah. So she does a lot of things that couldn't just be done online.
Right.
They needed to have an actual place to go, a place where people could actually meet, because she is creating this. She created an online community, but now like to have a real place for the community to meet. And what are the cards called that you read? When you get people reading?
Yeah. And I'm a Reiki healer as well.
She's everything.
Yeah.
So
now very soon, once everything is registered with the government, we're going to start doing cannabis weddings. And so what part of the weddings will be is that because I'm a Reiki healer, I'm actually able to transfer my energy from one participant to the next. I'll show my hands here so you can see. So I would put my hand on the groom and bride, or groom and groom, or whoever it is that I'm marrying, and now I'm transferring their energy energetically, and they're consuming cannabis at the same time. Now you want to get married again, don't you?
Yeah.
I knew it.
That's awesome. You're so funny. She's like, you're so funny. When you have to do stuff with the town or city hall or whatever you have to do, are you this energetic and excited?
Well, you know what? I kind of have learned that I have to kill them with kindness, because they're not so. Yeah. Well, when I first opened up here, it was wonderful. Our grand opening, we had a big green ribbon that we cut, and we had all like the mayor and all the important people on one side, and then we had people from the cannabis industry on the. It was beautiful. But since then, I think I pissed them off a little bit. Can I say that? Ticked them off. I ticked them off a little bit. Because what I did is I went to the fair. We had a we have a fair that's been happening here for like 185 years. And I went to the fair board and pitched them to put cannabis in it. Like, they were not happy about that because it's an agricultural crop. So they did it out in British Columbia. So I thought maybe they can do it here. And they didn't like that very much. And then I did a Black Lives Matter gathering a couple of weeks ago, and they were not happy that I did that because I didn't include them. I got responses like, those people are not using our bathrooms here. This is COVID. We haven't had any incidents. We haven't had any cases. So if you're going to do this, we're not supporting you. Thank you for doing it, whatever, but we're not involved. They better not use our bathrooms. So I've not made some friends lately. They're not happy with it. But that's okay. I'll just tell them with kindness.
Yeah, shit glitter. Tell about the young lady that you did have, though. The girl who said she was like 12 or 13.
Oh,
it's the good that did come out of the Black Lives Matter event. That was awesome.
Oh,
tell us about that.
Okay, yes, of course. So her mom is named Sibu, and she's a friend of mine. And of course, we don't have very many Black people in our community here. We're a very sort of rednecky place, I guess is the right way to put it. So I had to go outside of the area to find people that would come and speak. Because this really, when we're doing these gatherings and people are putting them on, this is not a time for us, the white people, to be standing up and telling you our story or what we're thinking. So I had to go find some people that would be willing to come and put their message forward. And Sibu has a little girl, and she's 13, and her name is Balu. And she wrote a song called Make It Right. And it's just, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. She's an incredible, she sounds like Tracy Chapman, and her message is of peace and love and make it right, please. And so since she was there, she's now making the rounds on news, and she was part of Caravana, and she's part of a youth movement, and her songs are being heard everywhere. She's been asked to come to other Black Lives Matter gatherings. So it's okay if they don't like me, because now Bulu is going to be a big famous person. And her message is going to be heard everywhere.
I couldn't see the town hating you. Maybe it was just the issue of the safety aspect.
Maybe not hate. Hate is a very strong word, and I don't often use that word. When I think of hate, it would be like you're seeing someone and they're going to get hit by a bus and you don't push them out of the way. That's hate. But if you do push them out of the way, you don't hate them, right? So I can't think of many people that I feel that I wouldn't push them out of the way if a bus came. So maybe I think they would push me out of the way. Like, they don't hate me that much. But I think that they were not happy. And I think that sometimes people don't like change. And I think that we've certainly had a period of time over the last few months where people are not doing well. So we're seeing a lot of changes of behavior. Humans are not acting the way that they should. And I think that's what I'm feeling from them.
Mm-hmm. How many, Lester was asking, what is the population of Orono?
1,200 people.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Surrounded by,
now,
you guys surrounded by a lot of.
It's farm. It's a lot of farm and agriculture, which is lovely. And I lived in Toronto for many years. My son was born there, and then when he was born, I thought, I don't think I'm going to raise him there. I'm going to find him a place where I can build him a tree house and get him a dog. You know how that works. So this was a beautiful place to come to, and it's a wonderful, wonderful community. They just need a little bit of lessons. I think they just need to be more open-minded.
Yeah. So
and we're going to give them that, right?
Can your lounge? Can people consume there? What can you get a license? Absolutely. Like, are you working on that?
Well, here's the thing: is that it is an Ontario bylaw that you cannot smoke inside. So you can consume cannabis in so many other ways. Like, people bring their edibles to eat here. People bring their tincture and put them in their drinks. So there's many other different ways. We do go outside to use combustible smoking, except for, don't tell anybody, except for when we do yoga toke, because it's a spiritual thing, and I feel like we can get away with that. So we do yoga right here. We're doing it outside right now in the summer. Don't tell me. Okay, so I think that right now.
So it's going to be on my Facebook.
Right now we're doing it outside so we don't get in trouble. But when we do yoga in here, we just we lock the door. The public can't come in, and we make sure everybody's okay. And then we do our yoga. Elevated yoga is just like elevated sex or elevated eating. It's the best way to do it.
That's the best way to do it. So, will you be able to marry people? Is that what you said? You're
kind
gonna
of interested about that elevated.
Lester wants some elevated sex.
Oh, cow! Did she just drop a cannon?
Not with me though.
Wow.
Well, it's the best way.
Right.
It's you become more spiritually connected to your partner, right? You've done lots of.
That's what I was alluding to. I was alluding to more information about the elevated heightness of what you were saying.
I get so thrown up.
The elevated. Okay, so for yoga, for example, when you're doing yoga and if you consume cannabis ahead of time, you're able to go deeper, you're able to stay on your mat better, you can focus more, and your third eye is all kinds of open, and so you're getting everything that you would need to be able to do the poses even better and spiritual.
Let me jump in. I have done an elevated yoga. My third eye is high as F because I can't balance, I can't stand, I can't do anything. I actually recently posted a picture of me trying to do some tree pose. It was terrible. It's like, and I was really high. I thought maybe I'd be more bendy or maybe more whatever. No.
So are you just regularly stiff?
I'm just regularly a stiff old bitch there, Lester. Whether I'm high or not.
Yes. But you're our queen. I should note that, when you go into the federal buildings in different federal buildings throughout the country and you see a picture of the queen, well, we at Kelly's Green Lounge have a picture of Jackie Childs up because she's our queen.
Isn't that so funny? It's so
true.
Cute.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
I've heard of the
what would we do without you?
Right? I've heard of all that love expressed for the queen.
Right? Kill them with kindness, Kelly. That's my inbox, my DM role for everybody in the cannabis space. Even the people that we've sort of talked. There's people that aren't always agreeing, and there's stuff going on. Kill them with kindness. Like how you're, what you're presenting and putting out is what the cannabis space it was supposed to be. Yes, it's a commodity. Yes, it's money. Yes, it's whatever. So it gets a little whatever. But there's supposed to be a peace and love and unity and just a freedom, calmness around it. Part of it, right? Like, let's get high. Let's get high and fuck. Let's get high and maybe do yoga.
I really believe that our plant wants us to be. Our plant wants us. I mean, I feel like I don't have a paycheck. I don't take a paycheck. I'm not doing this for that. I do it because I feel like the message of cannabis is here and I need to spread it. There are so many, and I come across them all the time, people that are in this industry to make a quick buck that maybe will never smoke a joint. They'll just have their beer at night and just try to make some green money off of our plant. And that's not a way to treat our plant at all. So I feel like maybe I'm a spokesperson for the plant in a sense, is that I just want the message of love to come across and not one of, let's find out how much we can cash in by growing cannabis and, making it into a monopoly. That's not okay.
What's your favorite way to consume?
I like every way. I like every way. But what I do is I don't consume in the daytime at all.
Bullshit. You didn't consume right now to come visit us. Okay, I believe
completely not on cannabis. Well, this is just me. I'm just this big weirdo. But here's one. So I have what's called complex PTSD. So that means that it's more severe than regular standard PTSD, where I block out a lot to do with my past, and I've been through a lot of traumas that I'm not able to connect things in my brain. What that also leaves me with is fight or flight. So I literally live in fight or flight all day long. And I've found a way to use that to build this business or to parent or do whatever I need to do. If I didn't use cannabis at night, so what I do is I usually start with an evening edible, and then I puff on a vape pen or smoke a joint or something like that in order to get to sleep. I suffered from insomnia for many, many, many years. And I suffered from anxiety and results of the traumas. And so if I'm sitting there like this tense all day because I'm just going, cannabis helps me go, ah, and I'm able to
Right.
relax and I'm able to sleep and I'm able to be a better parent and a better human.
So what made you come across cannabis? How did you find cannabis for the first time?
I've never really I never really felt like it was illegal. Like it was never like that to me. It was something I never fought for. I didn't understand the medicinal or therapeutic benefits at an early age. It was
Right.
around when I was a teenager. Like I said before, I worked in the music industry. I used to go on tour with DJs. I dated musicians. It was just always there. It was like just, it was just pot. It was just pot. But then in my 30s, I switched to being a teacher and a childcare supervisor. And
Mm.
at that point in time, pot was still around. I was the one that was bringing pot brownies to parties, whether people were bringing wine or infused popcorn or whatever it was. So at that point
Mhm.
in time, when it was getting towards legalization, I decided that I needed to take some courses because people were coming to me, like moms of the children that I was taking care of, like, hey, Kelly, you look like a hippie. You might know about weed. And I thought, well, yeah, I know a little bit about
Mm.
weed, but I better figure out a little bit more. In addition, I have a very sick mom. And I thought if I learn about cannabis, then maybe she will go off all the awful medications that she's on and let me teach her about cannabis. She still hasn't. She still refuses. But that's okay because I can
Right.
help other people's moms, right? So it was a combination of all of those things at the same time, and it just happened. And I honestly believe that I am on this path from universe or goddess or God or whatever way you want to do it to just bring this message forward. I'm sure that there's a million other things I could have done. I have just gone through a divorce because of my position here. I'm selling my house so that I can continue with Kelly's Green Lounge. I'm sure it would be much easier to go back and be a teacher or something else, but my mission is cannabis and I am here and all I want to do is talk about it.
So you're saying that your position that you're in right now had split up your marriage?
Definitely one of the big things. So my ex-husband suffers from bipolar. He is an
Okay.
Icelandic Viking, big, massive man. He came to Canada to be
Ginormous.
with me. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, and he ended up not being able to get the medical treatment that he was getting, and it was pretty much put to me, either you're going to have to give this business up and work on this marriage, or it's not going to work. So, bye, Viking.
So she sent him back to Iceland.
Okay.
So bye, Viking.
That was a huge ultimatum to make.
This is my message. This is I 100% know that I am supposed to be speaking about cannabis and going forward. We're about to launch a really massive course called the Homeostasis Hippie. It has 5 educators. And all from different areas of cannabis. You come in the morning, you leave in the afternoon, certified, kind of like you would with a first aid course. And
Hmm.
that's how we're going to be able to, the people that are teaching this with me are the most incredible humans I've ever met. I've put this course together so that all of the people around can find that homeostasis balance, which I believe you need some cannabinoids to get into your system in order to have that balance. And I just feel like
Right.
if I can speak about it, if I can teach about it, if I can guide, if I can build a community, then more people will be able to access it. And I really believe that cannabis is going to save our world, whether it's hemp that we're using for building materials or eating it
Hmm.
or consuming it by and getting better spiritually or for medical and therapeutic. I believe cannabis will heal our planet.
I love it.
Which we definitely need some healing. Some healing and some church.
Church for sure.
And some elevated sex for Lester.
No, man.
Don't look at me.
Shots fired. Kelly, never mind about Jackie and Lester needing any kind of elevated. Lester likes elevated information, and I find it very interesting to hear. It's definitely about yoga and people's experience that they feel that they go through using yoga, or whether it, even if it's just straight up church, sitting down with a few friends or peers, whatnot, smoking on something or drinking or
I'm telling you a
edibles.
quick story. I went to Kelly's Green Lounge.
Hmm.
I smoke a lot of weed. I eat a lot of edibles. It's just something I do.
Right.
She had a Caribbean restaurant across the street, Caribbean restaurant, I believe it was. I went over there to have something to eat. I don't remember the rest of the evening. I actually, she wanted to introduce me to her son. I'm like, no, now is not the time for any little baby child. Like I was really.
You're saying the edibles kicked in.
Oh yeah, and it was a long haul back home, and I was just like, and I had just got Budsy like the week before, and I'm like, whose dog is this? Like, oh yeah, I was messed up.
So a lot of things going on there. So tell us a little bit about the comedy.
Yeah.
What's going on with the comedy there?
I'm gonna move for a second so you can see my stage. Can you see my stage sort of? I built it.
Yes.
I actually built it with my 2 hands, and I'm very proud of myself for doing it. So that's why I'm telling you about it. So you can't really see much of the lounge right now, but in front of me where I'm looking is where we had our stage set up. So before the apocalypse, we had things like comedy and live music and trivia and all of the things. And it wasn't working out so well. So during our downtime, I came in and I built this stage with like wood and hammer and nails. And if you know me, then you would know that that is very odd for me because I am not that person. But I was determined that I was making a stage. And then this wonderful couple that are members of our lounge donated some really cool equipment. And we have speakers and a microphone and the board or whatever that you're supposed to use to set things up. So now every 5 weeks, we have the most incredible comedians coming out of Toronto and doing cannabis and comedy here for us. And we're building the brand. We're going to do a pop-up in Toronto this month, and we're going to do one in Peterborough as well. So we're just sort of building that brand, and hopefully the comedians will come and they'll be amazing.
She had Carla Collins, right? Didn't you have Carla Collins a few months ago? That's huge. I mean, she's big. She lives in LA, right?
Yeah.
She's from LA?
Yeah, she was wonderful. Yep. Well, she's from Toronto, but she went to LA.
Originally. Right.
Yeah.
And you and her have the same PR people. That's how it connected, right?
We did. Tracy Moore.
Yes.
So what is comedy? Once a week? Twice a week?
5 weeks.
It's every 5 weeks. So we do this thing called Recreational Fridays. So Fridays, the rest of the time is really a lot about workshops, how to infuse, how to grow, what is the endocannabinoid system, like just things you can come for an educational. But I wanted one day of the week that would be for recreational, and that's our Fridays. This month we have a psychic coming. We have a beautiful singer that's going to come and play her keyboard and sing. And then our comedy is every 5 weeks. We had trivia this past Friday. It was our very first event back after. No zombies ate us, so we're really glad about that. So now we can move forward with our other Friday event, and that's our recreation. Yeah.
Can you do readings through virtual? Like, can you do virtual readings? Like, could you read a card for Lester right now? Could you do that? Like, does it only take?
I have to go get it. Okay.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I need to know if Lester's got some elevated sex in the near future.
Yeah.
Or some elevated food or whatever the hell.
Food would be nice, man. All that, what was that? Was that curry crab you were showing me?
I was showing you some curried crab.
Curried crab.
They're in the grill.
King crab, that was, right?
So Budsy's a little bit crazy today. He's feeling some of Kelly's energy.
Right? He just got all hype and shit.
See, she can like kill him with kindness. Like how can you fight with stuff, her cannabis, things, when she's literally shooting rainbows at you? She's literally throwing glitter in your face while you're telling her you're wrong and this is illegal and this is bad. And she's like, here's some glitter for you. And here's some. So, and she turned it into a business, and it's her whole life. It is her whole life. The Kelly's Green Lounge is pretty busy.
It is. I don't. There isn't a day. There is not a day that I can't remember not working for the last however long this has been going on for. And I'm okay with that. I know that there's so many different areas that need to be built up. We're just starting a membership as well. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it's a membership where you become a card carrier. Like we have a little card carrying member of Kelly's Green Lounge, and you get some swag. And with that, you get to be part of our new TV channel, which is something that we're opening up very soon.
Sick.
Wow.
Tell us
Cool.
tell us a little more about the TV channel. What's going on there?
Okay. So
What can we expect?
Okay. So here's the thing. When we went sort of virtual for the last little while, we had to flip this and figure out what we're doing. So at that point in time, I decided to develop a talk show, which is, it's called Elder Smoke Shack. It's every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 10 o'clock. And it's this like bigger than life guy. His name is Trev. And he sits behind the desk and smokes all kind of weed. Does a top 10. It really is like a late night talk show. So we've developed that as well as some cannabis study with Stacy Boback. And there's so many different things because we had to go virtual and we had to keep up with our members and teach them and let them have the cannabis access while they were sitting at home. And for 420, we were going to have a really big event, but because we couldn't do that, we decided to have an all day long virtual party. So it started at 10 o'clock in the morning and it went to, I think, midnight. And every half hour there was somebody. We had chefs, we had cooks, we had comedians, we had teachers, we had entertainers, singers. And so that sort of built our virtual channel. And then we kept up some consistent shows throughout the last maybe 9 weeks. And then now what we're doing is we're doing a KGL cannabis channel. So members will be able to log on when we have things that are live events here, as well as our workshops, and they will be able to see what's happening in the lounge and be part of it.
That is pretty damn cool.
Cool. Tell us Lester's future or past. Okay.
So they're called, I'm going to just do, because it's just one card, they're called goddess cards, not to be, mixed up with Jackie. Not, there's no Jackie in here, although there should be. So what happens, Lester, is every human has a goddess and it's their goddess, and that goddess can change from time to time, and that goddess is watching you and looking after you, and she wants to send a message to you right now and tell you maybe there's something that you have a question about, or maybe you're concerned about something. So she's with you right now, and what I'm going to do, Lester, is I'm going to shuffle, and then you're going to tell me when to stop, and your goddess card will be on the top. Okay, so I'm taking the cards and I'm shuffling right now. Okay, ready?
All right.
Go, Lester. Tell me when to stop.
Stop. What is my goddess?
She
got me.
Athena.
Of course.
So Athena is inner wisdom.
Jack, you don't like that?
Okay, tell us what that is.
Tell me. What is Athena?
You know what to do. Trust your inner wisdom and take appropriate action without delay. So Lester, I have a question for you. Is there something that you've got going on that maybe you've been procrastinating, not doing, maybe a project you want to get off, maybe some change you want to make? It is time to do it. Athena says.
Kick Jackie.
She's rushing out for you right now.
Get off the pot there. Get off the pot there, Lester.
All right. I like it. Yeah.
Well, wait, can you do one for me then?
Couple
Absolutely. Yeah, she's Greek. And so when you have an opportunity, Google Athena and see what she wants. See how she is. She's sending you a message right now, Lester. I hope you're going to listen to her.
She's sliding into Lester's DMs as we speak.
Athena can slide into my DMs with any kind of good news. I'm
okay, Jackie, let's put your energy into the cards. Let's find out who your goddess is that's watching you and taking care of you and looking out for you. And the next time that you go for a walk by yourself in the woods, which is something you should both do lots of, then they'll be with you. Your goddesses are always connecting to nature. Okay, Jack, you tell me when to stop. Ready? Tell me.
Stop.
Stop. Okay. Okay, I did. Ooh, Artemis. She's your guardian. Look.
What's her name?
Artemis.
Artemis. Of course, she's got a bow and arrow.
Artemis. You and wait till you hear this, Jackie. Wait. Now, you remember the conversation that you and I had on the phone the other day? Remember, Jax? Listen to what this is. She says, you and your loved ones are safe and spiritually protected.
Ah, so as long as I keep loving Lester, he's good.
Boom. You heard it here. Right? Live in the green room.
There you go.
Oh, wow, that's a good one.
Here's your
That is a
bonus
good
card.
one. That
Yeah.
relates to a lot that's going
So
on right now.
always feel like the message is coming in and that speaks through the cards in order to be able to give it to you.
Aw.
Well, I like the message that she gave me. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, research Athena.
I'm
Research
going to
her.
research Athena.
Yeah, and send me a picture of yourself researching Athena.
If she can, if Athena's going to help a brother with some future things that I've been procrastinating on, I'm down.
She's just like a
Yeah.
nagging wife.
And she's Greek, so she's of the Greek descent. So maybe there might be a reason why the Greek one is watching out for you.
There might be a reason.
There
Kelly,
might be.
what you took a course when you got into the to take the cannabis space more personal, like you're more serious about it. And that was where you met that Deej, the grower, the Greek guy, right? Didn't you guys go to school together?
He's one of our educators.
What did you go to school for before you became Kelly?
I've taken some courses from McMaster University called the Science of Cannabis. So that's one of the courses I've taken, all the CanCells, the CanCell experts, and then just some online courses. But that's not where I met him. I met him, he and I were together in the audience at a Women and Weed conference that was put on by Durham College. And he was so like bossy and putting his hand up all the time and like calling out. And I thought, I need that guy. I need that guy right now. He is going to be an amazing, amazing part of my team. And he is a genius when it comes to growing. Like he took horticultural, is that what it's called? Horticulturalism. Yeah. And like that guy can do anything. He can grow anything. And then when he talks, like he's a beautiful kid. Like he's like under 25. He's a beautiful kid and he's sort of young and rides a skateboard. So when you look at him, you're like, really? But then when he opens his mouth, my goodness, he knows everything about cannabis. Growing it.
He's a nice kid. He's a really, really nice kid.
Yeah.
And that I met him in Muskoka. He was one of the lecturers. He was teaching people how to clone. Remember, he was the clone kid, teaching everyone how to do the clones or whatever.
Well, and so you came to Muskoka where I was speaking, and afterwards I told everybody Jackie Childs came to see me speak. Jackie Childs came to see me speak. I bragged about it. Yeah,
just happened to be in Muskoka in June, so sometimes you can catch me there. Of course, I love you dearly, Kelly. I drove all the way there. And it was a really cool little event. It was a nice. Yeah. It was the first one that I had said no to. Like I wanted to enjoy it. I wanted to go there and learn and listen. And I didn't want
you took it in person?
Yeah, I went. We drove there and ate poutine and listened to the speakers. Okay. It was really nice change. It was really, really nice, and it was intimate. It was small. I think did they have plans of doing it again, and then COVID happened, or?
Yeah, they would have done it again this year, and I think when they do it again, I think KGL will partner up with them.
Well, I've also learned since of a lot of LPs and a lot of bigger, more corporate that have moved out Muskoka way. So I'm sure it'll be a bigger event with a lot more buzz this next time.
Yeah. They had to cancel. We were supposed to work on the Halliburton cannabis conference that was slated for the end of the summer, and they had to cancel too. So when they move forward, we'll work on those projects with them as well. I really feel like there's these little, like Muskoka and Halliburton, these tiny little pockets of places with not a lot of cannabis people up there. So let's go into the places that there aren't a lot of cannabis and sort of bring that message up there as best as we can as well.
I completely agree. All these damn panels, we all sit there nodding our head like a bunch of idiots agreeing with everything. Shouldn't we not? Shouldn't it, like, don't we learn when there is a little bit of, like we have different points of view and we have a different opinion on things instead of us all sitting there. You're right. Yes. And then, yay, that's a great panel. I didn't learn anything other than Susie had nice shoes and I like Brenda's glasses. It's better to go places where we're not, we don't all agree and we're not all, because that's where the change will happen and where we'll teach each other. We'll learn from one another.
I think so too. And that's why the course that we've developed, like when I tell you these 5 educators are from completely different walks of life and completely different areas of cannabis, and you would never have thought of them to be together teaching a course, let alone being friends or in a part of the community. And we're all this family now. And so it gives that perspective. So when we are teaching about cannabis, we can put all areas out there for the people. It's very hands-on and people will walk away certified and understanding the plant and not just, this is what you should think. It should only be legal. It should only be medical. Well,
Right.
no, legacy has a part too. We all have a part for cannabis as long as we're loving.
Where do we access the course? And what does it cost? And where do they access it? And when is it available?
So it's great that you asked that. We are piloting it for our first 3 people next week. And then after that, it will be available online on our website.
And is it free?
No, it costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
How much it costs right now?
Oh, you can't? Okay.
But,
so it just costs a
well,
lot
because
of money.
we're still seeing how it's going to look.
Okay.
All
right. Well, that's exciting. That's something to look forward to.
There's a lot going on over in Kelly's Green Lounge.
Yeah, Lester will have to, maybe Cannabis Weddings will have to come to Orono.
I would love that so much. You can come and session church with me here.
Well, that will have to do. These guys, they actually sent me an invitation out last year to come out, but due to Cannabis Wiki's busy schedule, the timeline just didn't make it out. Believe me, I want to come. I want to meet the people out in Ono, and I want to feel the vibe and get high with everybody.
And then you can take us to that restaurant that I went. They have some chicken
so would I.
and enjoy.
Yeah.
Is that restaurant still there? The one across the street?
Yeah.
The chicken place?
Well, I'm not sure if everybody is going to make it, to be honest with you, after this. I'm watching some of the businesses not have reopened. And so I can't say for sure that all of them are going to stay on our little strip, but we hope that they will.
Aw. Fingers crossed. Thanks for chatting with us, Kelly. Thank you very much.
You've been so much energy over there. When you first started off, I saw her moving back and forth. I'm like, what? She's ready. She's ready to knock somebody out, right? Like she got. I love your energy. It was so good to sit down and talk with you and to find out what exactly is going on inside Kelly's Green Lounge. It's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor. I feel like, sort of like when you try really hard to sort of make it somewhere, and I feel like being a part of Cannabis Wiki and being here with my favorite woman in the whole wide world and being on your show just makes me feel like I've sort of like made it. So thank you so much for making me
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You definitely made our day. That's for sure. The videos, this will be cute. Can't wait to share this.
Yeah, definitely. We definitely thank her for coming out. That was super cool.
Kelly's Green Lounge. She's got a lot of energy.
Yeah, hell yeah. But I'd like to go and check it out, see what's going on. It feels like it's got a hometown feel.
She's got a lot of cool stuff, like cool clothing and bongs and accessories and just things that you wouldn't see everywhere and find everywhere. And she's got it all tripped out like a little coffee shop, plus a lot of Bob Marley type stuff. And it's cute. It's really cute.
Well, I'm always down with session with people.
Like, I feel tired. I'm just talking to Kelly. Wow. She's the next co-host there, Lester.
She is full. She is full.
Yes. She's actually a really great educator, really great speaker. The radio show, the TV show, like you could go on Kelly's Green Lounge and there's something good, and they sell out. Like she puts out 50 tickets or 75 tickets to whatever it is, and they're gone. Like she's doing a lot of cool stuff. So,
well, it sounds like the small space needs the information to be passed out there, whether they take it positive or negative. Just the fact that the information is out there and people have some place to get access about it. So even if the doubters can maybe go into Kelly's Green Lounge.
When she talked about first getting Kelly's Green Lounge and where it was going to be and how, and I know the town and the strip of I was like, nice try, pipe dream. It is not happening. And then she had the ribbon cutting ceremony with the mayor.
Right.
I was blown away. Like,
yeah, just even when she said that, I was like, all right, this girl's doing some things.
Yeah. Breaking some stigma and stereotypes and spreading some kind of shit and glitter all over the cannabis industry.
God damn.
So
what do you say?
I say Cannabis Fresh is always, I don't know, or Cannabis Talk is always fresh and a little bit sticky. And this is Lester from Cannabis Wiki. That's what I say.
I love it.
I'm so freaking glad to be back in studio.
Me too.
First of all, it's the only time I shower.
2 thumbs up on that one, people.
God.
Let me tell you. Yeah, she's smelling fresh right now. I ain't lying. So, you know where Cannabis Talk is always fresh and a little bit
sticky.
Keep it locked to Cannabis Wiki. We always got you guys in check. And if I didn't say it at the beginning of the show, thank you very much for washing your hands, wear your mask, and
mind your own business.
Whew, jeez, you really think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay hydrated, mind your own.
Stay hydrated, people. We got a heat wave going on out there. Peace. We out.
Bye.